Welcome into the studio. I'm Eagles insider Dave Spadaro with head coach Doug Pederson in his first training camp as an NFL head coach. How's it going so far?
It's going well.
Yeah?
It's going well. The weather's cooperating. It's a little warm.
You want it hot, right?
I want it hot. I want it hot because it's going to be a tough camp once we get the vets in here, but it's been going well for the last couple of days.
Doug, what are you seeing from the 38 players who've been here for 3 days?
You just want to see them. You want to just see them again, how much they retained over the summer. You want to get them used to the schedule, because it's a little different than what we did during the OTAs and those 10 weeks in the off season. And then you also, I guess from the veteran quarterback standpoint, you just want to get those guys loosened up and ready to go for when the vets do get in here. But overall, it's not about killing these guys right away. Get them back into football mode, and then when the vets are here, they've got one leg up on them and they're ready to go as well.
Every time you meet the media, you sit there and you're very patient and accommodating, and the media continues to ask questions about the quarterback position and the very specifics of it. And I want to ask you this, and maybe this is a different perspective. How do you see this as a winning situation for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Well, it's winning because we got three great quarterbacks, in my opinion. It's also a winning situation because we got a returning starter in Sam Bradford, who played extremely well at the end of the season, as we know, last year. And now moving forward, we want to keep that going with Sam Bradford. Secondly, we've got a great backup quarterback. It's a win situation because in the National Football League, injuries take place, and even at the quarterback position. So having a solid backup that has had game reps and game experience is very, very valuable, much like we had in 1999. And then having a young quarterback that we can develop and we can groom and grow. It's the best of all three worlds, and we're so excited to. When I say we, it's Frank Reich and John DeFilippo, myself, getting to work with these guys. That's the exciting part of not only rookie camp but now training camp.
So as the outside world wonders how it could possibly work, you look at it as a great position to be in because you've got all these assets here.
And you know what? And I'm focused on one guy.
Yeah.
I'm focused on Sam Bradford and getting him ready for September 11th in Cleveland. The other two guys, we're going to get them ready to go. I mentioned the other day I want them starter ready because if something happens, you want them to be just like the starter, just like Sam. So, it is a great situation to be in, but in my opinion, it's a very easy situation right now because Sam Bradford came back, he re-signed. It's a guy that we wanted, guy that I wanted, and it's everything forward with Sam Bradford.
And since he's come back, Doug, from the absence, what have you seen from him mentally, physically, just his whole ways kind of comported himself?
Number one, the fact that he was able to sort of put, bygones be bygones, kind of brush that behind him and come back. He came back eager. He came back a little more assertive. He came back with more confidence. The conversations that he and I had were basically, Sam, you're the guy. You're my guy. I've got all the trust and the faith in you, and let's just go play football. Bottom line, at the end of the day, let's go play football. Let's not worry about who's where, what's what. Let's just go win games together, and let's do that. And so from that standpoint, his leadership ability in the huddle, you see him talking to players now as they come back after taking a rep, and those are the things you want from your starting quarterback.
We're going to move away from the quarterback position and talk about some other parts of this offense, the offensive line. In particular, a lot invested in the offseason in that very important group. What do you think you've seen? What do you feel about the offensive line right now?
Felt real good coming off of OTAs. Brandon Brooks gives us great depth, great starting right guard potential. Alan Barbary is a guy that's a veteran guy that can also play tackle for you, which we've seen him do in the past, and he becomes a swing guy at left guard. Isaac Siamalo, he's a guy that I think is going to make great competition at that spot. Jason Kelsey, I think is one of the best centers in the National Football League. He's so smart. He's on a quarterback level when it comes to smarts and thinking and anticipating on the fly. And then you got Lane Johnson sitting over there, who's one of our core players who we re-signed in the offseason. We felt important that we, have two of those nice bookends with he and Jason Peters, and Jason coming in as a veteran guy. I was really pleased where they left off, at OTA. So now once the pads come on, I really want to see their physicality take over. I want to see them dominate and be able to move the defensive line, and then obviously protect the quarterback.
That'll be a great thing to watch in training camp. Will it be ones against ones, offensive line, defensive line?
When we get going in pads, it'll be ones versus ones.
Wow.
Until we get into live situations, and I typically go ones versus twos, twos versus ones, things like that. But for most of the camp, I want good versus good.
Have you a sense, Doug, of where the offense is just in terms of learning the concepts, the X's and O's, being in the right place at the right time?
I tell you what, it's further along coming out of OTAs. It's further along than I had anticipated. We put so much football in this spring, situational football that a lot of times we as coaches we don't get a chance to do. And one thing in Kansas City, I felt like we're further along this year, my first year here, than I was my first year in KC as offensive coordinator. We've done more from a football standpoint. And it's just a credit not only to the assistant coaches on offense, but to the players for retaining the information, taking it to the field, executing it, and it puts them a leg up coming into camp.
Is there a theme, Doug, that you impart to these players each day? Is there a theme of this training camp?
Not really. I just want them to understand that I want them to be smart football players. I want them to be tough football players. We're going to be a well-conditioned team, and just have fun. Let your personality show. I mean, that's a part of this game. If you don't love playing this game, we're in the wrong business, coaches and players. And so the theme really every day is just we're going to get better. We're going to take one step. Whatever I can do as a coach to make you better as a player today, that's our theme. That's our goal, and that's what we strive to do.
You have a big saying: iron sharpens iron. Competition at all positions. Do you feel like you've got that set up as camp and the pads go on here?
I really do. What Howie's done in the offseason, his staff bringing in the players, the depth, veteran players, free agents, even through the draft. I think we've really solidified some depth at a lot of positions, and so it's going to be exciting once we get into camp to really see the cream rise and to see who's going to be a part of the Philadelphia Eagles in 2016.
2.5 weeks away and the preseason starts.
I'm excited.
Right.
I can't wait. I wish it was tomorrow.
Doug, thanks so much. Doug Pederson, in studio, the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles here on PhiladelphiaEagles.com.